Welcome to Salute to the Ears, where my family and I discuss everything Disney, from parks, food, and rides to travel tips, movies, and more. Hey everyone, welcome to Salute to the Ears. I'm your host, Jeremy Simon, and I am riding solo today. And today I'm going to be bringing you what's to come in 2021. A little bit late on this, so some of the things may have already happened, but it's going to be things we know for sure are coming. Some of the things that remain unchanged, possible things that could happen, and then maybe some rumors in there that I've seen around. So let's go ahead and kick it off with the things that we know that are unchanged, that are still going to be happening in 2021. Go ahead and get it out of the way. Masks, still going to have to wear them in the parks. For the foreseeable future, I work in healthcare. We're going to be wearing them for the foreseeable future. Plan on wearing them into the parks, even as the vaccines roll out until numbers come down lower. My guess is probably through October, November, but that's just a guess at this point. Just kind of rumors of what I've been hearing and what I've been seeing and reading. So, yep, still going to be wearing masks in the parks. Kind of hard to wear a park. But wearing masks in the parks for the foreseeable future, definitely through the summer. Mobile orders at quick service restaurants. I don't think this one's going to go away anytime soon. It is a way for them to kind of regulate the crowds inside the restaurants, and I think it's kind of what they wanted to go to anyway. It gets less people standing around inside and get you in and out of getting your food as they're able to get more people in the parks. I think this is actually going to become a little bit more streamlined, and it's also going to be helpful whenever dining plan starts coming up and being able to do it with that. I'm sure that'll be connected in there with the app somehow. Just be able to click on something and scan your Magic Band or your phone whenever you get up there. Speaking of Magic Bands, no more. Can't get a free one anymore. You can still get them at all the stores. You can still use them, the past ones that you got, as long as the battery's still good. But you just don't get the free ones anymore with your resort stay. And that also goes with the luggage tags as well. Those are also out the door. This is the last year for those. That'll be going away. One of the other things that's not going to go away, at least this year, I don't know when it's going to go away, if it ever does, with the park reservation system. This allows them to kind of regulate how many people are inside one of the parks. And it's going to tie in to something else that we're going to talk about later on that may be coming out that will tie in with that. And that way they know how many people are inside the parks. And not everybody's rushing to Hollywood Studios or rushing to Magic Kingdom, because nothing's worse whenever you've planned this trip and you're going to Magic Kingdom and that's where everybody went that day. And all these lines are huge. And you look at My Disney Experience app and you say, well, man, over at Hollywood Studios today, there's only a 20-minute wait for Tower of Terror. And here I am waiting an hour to ride Peter Pan or more. Reservation systems are still going to be there. I don't know if they'll ever go away. The limited capacity on the buses, that's not going to go away anytime soon either, I don't think. So limited capacity, still longer waits for the buses than what we're typically used to. No Fast Pass. Nothing's been announced yet for Fast Pass of how they're going to replace it, if they're going to replace it, or when. We'll talk about more of that later on, what I think might actually happen, but we'll see. And then, let's see, continued limited restaurant capacity and the revised character dining. They do have character dining, like Topolino's for breakfast, now Chef Mickey's over at Garden Grill and Epcot, which is actually a really good one. From what I understand it, you get so much of the characters you almost get sick of them, but they're there a lot. And then this year, one thing we know for sure is we say goodbye to the Magical Express. It's kind of a sad thing. I think sometime this year they're going to announce what's going to replace it. I actually think it may be sooner rather than later, but I don't know for sure. Let's go ahead and go to possible things in 2021. These are things that they've announced are happening. We think they might be happening in 2021, but we're not for sure. So first is say goodbye to Splash Mountain. This is one of Jackson's favorite rides, and he's very upset he may not get to ride it again. The last time we went, Brooklyn didn't want to ride it. She was scared of it for some reason, I don't know. And not the best parenting moment, but basically I had to force her to ride it, so she was yelling and screaming and kind of ruined the experience for Jackson, but it is more than likely going away this year to make room for a Princess and the Frog ride. So that's going to be completely rethemed. Don't know how long it's going to be down. They haven't announced that. They haven't announced if they're doing Disneyland and Disney World at the same time. If one's going first. Don't know. So, but probably in 2021 we say goodbye to Splash Mountain. And we also get another reimagined ride in 2021, and that's going to be the Jungle Cruise, which that news just came out last week. Kind of a new storyline. Sounds like maybe they're going to redo the queue a little bit, add some more stuff into the ride, kind of update it some, which will be good as long as we still get plenty of good dad jokes, one-liners, kind of our favorite part of the ride. Hopefully that doesn't go away. And then a couple of restaurants that we know for sure are coming. We think probably in 2021, but we don't know for sure. The first one we're supposed to get here in late fall or early winter of 2019. And we're still waiting on it, and that's Space 220 over in Epcot, where it looks like you go up this giant elevator from Florida up to space to the space station, and it looks like you're in space, and you get to eat up there. It looks really cool. Lots of screens, great idea. We've been waiting on this thing forever. There's been all kinds of problems, rumored problems of screens that were cracked, so they had to wait for new custom screens to come in. Having to find a new chef because that chef went somewhere else, so they had to redo the whole menu. So there's been all kinds of issues with this restaurant, but I hope it opens up soon. I'm looking forward to it. And then another one is Woody's Roundup Barbecue over in Hollywood Studios, which they desperately need a good sit-down restaurant. Over in Toy Story Land area, they don't have one. You got Woody's Lunchbox, which is a quick service, and it's really, even when it's a full menu, it's still pretty limited. A barbecue place, Toy Story themed, all the art I've seen, it looks like it's going to be really loud and chaotic in there. But I'm willing to give it a shot, even though it is barbecue, and we're kind of in a barbecue capital here. So I don't know how good it's going to be. We may give it a shot. I don't know. We'll see. So that's the things that are possibly coming in 2021, but we're not for sure. So things to come that we're for sure on. And this one's a little longer. First one is more resorts opening up. We've been kind of limited. They've been kind of staggering which ones are opening up when. By the time that we get to October, we will have more hotels to choose from then. So rest of the value resorts will be open up by then. The only ones that won't be open by then, it looks like, are Disney's Port Orleans, Riverside, and French Quarter. I don't know what the deal is, why those ones aren't opening up, why there's not even any rumors, no date set, nothing. Nobody knows anything. I have called multiple times. Nobody knows anything. Nobody knows why they're still closed. There's different people with different theories, but nobody knows for sure, or a good rumor, and Disney hasn't released anything. And that's a big, especially Riverside is a big resort, big moderate resort, which moderate rooms right now, you're kind of limited. It's Caribbean and Coronado, and then you can go over to the cabins over Fort Wilderness. But Riverside is a really big one, a really popular one, and French Quarter is usually booked out too because it's so small and quaint, and a good one for couples to go to. And families too, but it seems to be, since it's smaller and a little bit more intimate, it seems to be a popular one with couples. So hopefully we get some news on that, but we don't have anything yet, but the rest of the resorts should be open. Now with the resorts, with that is you get the remodel over at the Polynesian. It's going to be more Moana themed. It should be done this year. And then So then the rest of Poly will be open for everyone to enjoy. And it'll be redesigned, like I said, it's going to have more Moana in it. And then another one that's also getting an update is over at Contemporary. The tower is going to be closed for a few months. I think I saw it closes down in April, I think. I'd have to look it up. But it's closed for like 4 or 5 months. Main tower, redoing the rooms, kind of giving some fresh updated furnishings. So it won't be a major reno. It'll just be kind of updating the furnishings that are inside of it. The big one that's supposed to open up this year, which a lot of people are really excited for, is the Galactic Cruiser. So this is more of an experience than necessarily a resort. Yes, you're staying in there. You have a room like a resort, but it's like way it sounds, it's gonna be like a 2 or 3 day thing, and it's fully, you're like immersed on this whole Galactic Cruiser, and you have all these different experiences that you get to do that are all Star Wars themed. And then at the very end of it, they take you over to Hollywood Studios, to Galaxy's Edge, and you do stuff there. And it sounds like that's about where it ends. It's not going to be cheap. I've heard all kinds of rumors of how much it's going to cost, and it's not going to be cheap, but you're paying for the experience, not just the room. They've released some pictures of of a room that is done, or mostly done, and it looks pretty cool. It looks pretty much like you're inside of a Galactic Cruiser, like what you would expect. So they got these tiny little bunk beds, so I'm trying to figure out what's going on in there. I'm sure there's more space in them than what it looks. If not, then it's going to have to be little kids that stay in there. I don't know what's up with those. And then it's not necessarily a Disney hotel, but it's close enough. Over at the Swan and Dolphin, their new tower called the Reserve will be opening up this year as well. There's also lots of other off-property hotels that are opening, some big ones that have been announced. Saw something about a 10,000 room resort that's going to open up just off property. So there's all kinds of resorts and stuff coming this year. This year's was supposed to be a very busy year. This is the 50th anniversary of Walt Disney World. So we're going to get into more what that encompasses, but it was supposed to be a very busy year, and October is that 50th anniversary, so I think that's what they're really shooting for with a lot of these resorts, is having them up and going by then, so that they can get people in those rooms and people enjoying the 50th anniversary, because October 1st is the date of the 50th anniversary. You can't get a ticket to any of the parks those days. It's already sold out. It may open up more tickets as we get closer. I think as we get closer, the capacity in the parks is going to go up. I don't know if we'll be up to 100%. I would like to say we are, or that we will be, but I don't know for sure. I know that they want to get as many people in there as possible to kind of help with the economic downfall that they've had over this last year with COVID. More people they get, the more money they make. More money they make, the better things that they bring us, hopefully. That'll be an upcoming episode of what are they going to do to bring us back? Because there's not a whole lot of perks if we stay at the resort right now, and there's not a whole lot of things. There's still plenty of things that are closed inside the parks, especially restaurant-wise. But that's a completely different episode. So other things that are going to be opening this year, though, is, first one, Blizzard Beach. So if you're a water park fan, and we like water parks, it's opening up in March. And it might still be a little chilly come March, but I don't know. You're going to have enough nice days in there where you'll be able to enjoy it. It sounds like Typhoon Lagoon will open up later on this year. It sounds like it's getting a little refurb while it's down. You'll be able to go enjoy a water park starting March. And then live entertainment is finally starting to come back. They're making announcements. The first one that's going to come back is Festival of the Lion King. I love this show. If you haven't ever seen it, it is fantastic. They are going to kind of redo how people are sitting in there. It sounds like they've redone kind of some of the storyline a little bit and doing things to protect some of the actors as well. Hopefully by the end of this year, we can start putting all this stuff behind us. But as of right now, they're going to do everything they can to protect the actors and protect everybody who's watching it as well. It sounds like maybe they're also bringing back some other actors. We're starting to hear more rumors of more cast members, especially live entertainment, starting to be called back, which I hope they are, because that is definitely part of the magic in the parks is some of the shows. We definitely missed this last time not getting to watch Festival of the Lion King or Indiana Jones or all the other wonderful live entertainment. And then hopefully we start seeing some more characters around the parks. You still have plenty of opportunities to see the characters. It'd be nice to actually be able to go get pictures with them again. Don't know if that's going to happen anytime soon though. So some of the other things that are coming over in Epcot. This is supposed to be a big year for Epcot. They were supposed to have all of their remodel done. It's still a mess over there. They're still in the process of tearing down buildings. I don't know if they're going limited construction crews or what's going on. It's not moving very fast, but you got to imagine this year, hopefully by October, they got some more of that stuff open. It's not all going to be completely done. Cosmic Rewind, Guardians of the Galaxy Roller Coaster, Cosmic Rewind, is not going to be opening up in 2021 now, it sounds like. They've taken it off the list of things that are going to open. It sounds like maybe 2022. They haven't completely rolled it out, but that's what it's kind of sounding like. It sounds like the Play Pavilion will be open. This is kind of a more interactive area of the new Epcot that they're opening up. It sounds like it's going to be the first new pavilion really open. Some of the other things that are opening up, and this one should be opening up probably next month or two, I'd imagine, because they already got the new part of France open, so you would think Remy's Ratatouille Adventure is going to be opening up sometime very soon. It's got to be close to being done. It was supposed to be opened up at the end of the summer, but then COVID happened and it's kind of kept getting pushed back. So it's got to be close to being open. And opening up with that will be La Crêperie or Crêperie. I don't know. My French isn't good. So go in there, get all kinds of crepes. I'm imagining they got sweet and savory and all kinds of them. But that's supposed to be right outside the exit, from what I understand, of the ride of Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. And this ride, if you don't know what it is, you get into a little car that almost looks like a little rat, and you're going through a kitchen and a restaurant and just the world, looking through kind of the point of view of Remy as he scurries around inside the kitchen and all the different things he does. So it should be a fun ride. They have it over in Paris, so it's made its way over here. I think it's supposed to be slightly different, but not a whole lot. It's pretty much the same. So hopefully you haven't already looked at a point of view YouTube video of it and had it all ruined for you. I personally like being surprised by some of these things. Sometimes myself, I can't help it either, and look at the videos. But this one, I've done a pretty good job of staying off YouTube and the POV videos, so that we can be surprised whenever we go and watch it or go and ride it as well. So the other big one over in Epcot, the new nighttime fireworks show, Harmonious. They are in the process of sending out their barges that kind of look like giant tacos out into the water. So there's going to be 4 of these over in different parts of the Seven Seas Lagoon. The lagoon at Epcot. And they have screens that are going to be playing different videos. And then during the day, it's going to be fountains kind of hiding these. So you're not necessarily ruined. The scenery is not necessarily ruined by just looking at these giant taco-looking screens. I think they've gotten 3 of them out there so far. They say I get the other one out there, and then the big, huge one that goes in the middle. And then the show should be opening up sometime this year. I know they got to want to get that out there. It has to be part of the 50th anniversary that they want to get out there. They wanted to unveil as many new things as they can for the 50th. They had all kinds of things planned. Tron was supposed to open up. Not going to happen. Like I said, Cosmic Rewind doesn't sound like it's going to happen. And then Epcot was supposed to be completely done, and it's not going to be completely done either. So it's things that are not going to be ready in October. I don't know when they're going to start celebrating the 50th. Sometimes they do it a month or 2 in advance. And then it usually lasts pretty close to a year. So you may have clear up until the next October. Now, a lot of that stuff may get done sometime during the 50th. but it's not going to be there in the beginning. So with the 50th, though, you are going to get all kinds of great theming. I'm sure they're going to do some kind of great theming with Cinderella's castle. All the parks themselves will have stuff celebrating 50 years. There'll be all kinds of great merchandise. I'm sure there'll be all kinds of spirit jerseys, plushes, magic bands, hats, ears, all that great stuff. You got to imagine they're going to come up with something good. Great parades or cavalcades. I don't know what it's going to be. If they're still running with cavalcades, they're still going to do something great. If they're back to the point where they're doing parades again, then the parade itself, I'm sure it's going to be fantastic and something we'll all want to do. And then if they're back to doing fireworks at night at Magic Kingdom, they're going to have some kind of special 50th anniversary show going on, fireworks show with projections and lasers and all that good stuff, if we get to the point where we can do that again. And then last but not least on those is the snacks. There's going to be all kinds of great 50th anniversary snacks in all the parks. And they're probably going to be some that you'll be able to get the whole time when they're celebrating the 50th anniversary, and some that are just going to cycle through seasons. So keep your eye on those. If there's any that you like when you're going, make sure you write that down so you don't forget about them. And let us know what you think, what you find that you like there during those snacks. Because there's going to be some good ones. There always is. That's what's going on. Things to come for sure in 2021. Now, here's some things that may be coming. Some like rumors and stuff that I've seen is Disney Genie. If you don't know what Disney Genie is, so this is an app that's going to replace My Disney Experience. This thing is supposed to be able to almost plan your whole trip for you. You're going to be able to put in there like what you like to do. Say you're a thrill seeker, you want to like do the thrill rides, or you like the shows, or you're a foodie, or what you really like to do. And it's going to help you plan your day so it's most efficient. So if you're a thrill seeker and you're going to Hollywood Studios, or you're a thrill seeker and you don't know what you're going to do that day, it may suggest to you, hey, go over to Hollywood Studios this day because your crowds are lower, or you're thinking, hey, I really want to go to Hollywood Studios, but then it comes back and says Hollywood Studios is going to be the most crowded of all the parks. Why don't you go to Magic Kingdom this day, or Animal Kingdom? And then it's going to help you with those rides and possibly places to eat, and kind of help you plan your day. And this way they can also help kind of control the crowds and help try to get you the best experience that you can. It's going to, from what I understand, the stuff I've been reading, it's pretty much going to be able to give you multiple options to get you through your day so that you get the most enjoyment out of it. So you're not going, okay, I'm at Magic Kingdom, this really is so crowded today, and then you're stuck waiting in lines all day because you kept guessing the wrong line. You kind of had the same schedule as everybody else that's there. So hopefully that comes out this year. It sounds like it's going to. And if it does, it will be, I think it will help a lot of people out, because it seems like a lot of people are having problems with going to Hollywood Studios on the same day, Hollywood Studios being more crowded than others. And then if you watch, I have a problem with watching all the different wait times and stuff on My Disney Experience app, even when I'm not going. And you can kind of watch it seems like the crowds are just kind of following each other in the parks. And what was a high wait time early in the day, at the end of the day is a low wait time, then it flip-flops. What was low in the morning is now high in the evening. So that seems to follow for all the parks. And it may be, hey, look, on Monday, Hollywood Studios was really busy, and Magic Kingdom or Epcot and Animal Kingdom weren't, and then it flip-flops around. So crowds seem to follow each other around. So maybe Disney Genie will help get those crowds evened out a little bit better. And then will also help whenever the dining plan comes back. If the dining plan comes back, I think it's probably going to. I don't think it's going to be the same way that we've seen it in the past. I think it's going to be changed up a little bit. But as more restaurants open, I think we're going to have the option to go back to dining plan. But I don't think they're going to open up more restaurants. And if there's no more restaurants opening up, then we won't see a dining plan yet. But they're going to open up more restaurants as capacity goes up. So then we'll be able to have more places to choose to eat. And if we have more places to choose and eat, then that means more cast members are back to work and everybody's happy. So with that, though, like we've already talked about more cast members coming back with the live shows and then with restaurants, so more people back to work, possibly a new Fast Pass. We've kind of touched on this before. I think it's probably going to be some kind of a system that you have to pay for, or maybe it's a perk with the rest or with resorts when you stay there. Fast Pass as we knew it, I think, is going to be gone. There's still going to be some kind of Fast Pass. I think I'm like 95% sure there's going to be some kind of Fast Pass system because so many rides still have the spot, the line, the queue for it. So I think there's going to be some kind of system set up so that people can still utilize some kind of Fast Pass for at least a few rides during that day. Like we've already talked about, increased capacity. Capacity is going to increase. I think they want to get it as close to 100% as possible by October. So if it's not October, then by the holidays next year. It's all going to depend on how the numbers turn out, the COVID numbers turn out throughout the year. Hopefully the numbers go down so that capacity in Disney World goes up. They can open up Disneyland, get those cast members back, and then things can kind of start getting back to normal in the Disney World. And then, speaking of getting back to normal, hopefully, actually now that I think about this, I was going to say maybe the railroad returns, but the railroad is not going to return until Tron is done. They can't run the railroad because the railroad goes right there through Tron. So they can't run the railroad until Tron's done, from what I understand. Hopefully they get the People Mover figured out. This thing just they keep saying it's temporary down. They'll extend it out a couple months. That timeline will come up. They'll be testing it, doing all this stuff, and then they have to extend it again. So hopefully they get People Mover done soon. It sounds like things haven't been going that smooth. I don't understand what's so complicated about trying to get the People Mover fixed. And if they can build Tron and Seven Dwarves and Flight of Passage and all these things, you think they could figure out the People Mover. Hopefully we start getting more resort perks this year. They got to figure out something to get us back into resorts, make it worth it. Because right now, if you look at quality of room of a Disney Moderate and a hotel in the same price point off property, the one off property is going to be better. And it's, honestly, it's probably going to be quite a bit less. So right now, the perks you get are you got Disney, you got Magical Express for the rest of this year, and then on property transportation. That's about it. So they gotta come up with something else. They've got to come up with more room discounts, maybe the dining plan. I don't know. Eric and I are kind of brainstorming. We're going to do an episode on this of what we think they could do to help get people back into the resorts. So I'm actually looking forward to this episode. It should be fun. But they got to do something because right now it doesn't necessarily pay to stay on property. So hopefully also this year we'll see a return to Disney cruises. They've been pushed off month after month after month, and even when those come back, you're still going to be wearing a mask. I don't know if there's going to be showing proof of vaccination. I don't know for sure what's going on. It sounds like they've been pushed out to July. I think that's the last thing I saw was July. So it's still going to be a bit. I know people really like Disney Cruise Line. Unfortunately, I haven't ever gotten to do that one yet. So hopefully we get to sometime the next couple of years. We'll get to go do that, but not going to happen this year. So hopefully also this year, special events come back. I would imagine by the time a lot of these special events take place, capacity coming back up, and they'll be able to do it. Like Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. Love this thing. Been to it a couple times with the kids. Went once when they were real little, and then went once, not this last fall, but I guess the last time that they had it. And great time, lots of fun, lots of great overlays, food, snacks, parades, fireworks show. It's a great time. It is a ticketed event. It does cost extra, but it was well worth it. It's one of our favorite things that we've gotten to do down there. Hopefully, another big event that comes back is Mickey's Christmas. It didn't happen this year. Hopefully next year it's full-blown Christmas. You've heard before on a previous episode that we went down this year during the holidays. It was still very beautiful, lots of decorations up. They did a great job of still making it feel festive. I just hope next year that they can do the full-blown thing and have the actual party itself, which is another ticketed event that I would really like to do. Then they have some other things like the Villains event at night, where you get to, the park stays open late, and they got the villains running around, and you get to see some of them, because you don't usually get to see the villains during the day. There's not the villains running around. So at this nighttime event, you got all the villains running around. Hopefully we get all the extra hour events where the parks stay open late past closing, whether you have to pay for it or it's part of a resort perk or something. I think staying after closing, the normal closing time in the park, especially Magic Kingdom and Hollywood too, to a point, is very magical. I love both those parks at nighttime. I love all the parks at night. They're really fantastic at night. They do such a good job. So I'm really looking forward to that. Hopefully we get those hours back, although I would not expect it anytime soon. I would say probably, if I'm guessing, hopefully end of summer, beginning part of fall is when we can see that stuff. But you never know. And then, of course, more restaurants will be opening as capacity goes up. They're just going to have to. You're going to have to get more restaurants open. Then dining plan comes in and gives you more places to choose from. Because right now, dining plan really won't work just because of the amount of restaurants that are open. So, I just threw a lot of stuff at you really fast. I'm sure there's probably stuff that I missed. If you're listening to this and there's something in 2021 that's happening that I didn't mention, shoot us an email or hit us up on Twitter and Instagram. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Salute to the Ears. And then you can also send us an email or just hit us up on, just send us a direct message there through Twitter or Instagram. And tell us what you're looking forward to in 2021. And as always, you can follow us or listen to these podcasts on Simplecast, and then Stitcher, Spotify, Google. And as always, go out and find your joy and have a magical week.